Welcome to TroyPSilva.com, my new website. New video blog for this week is something that's very important. It's going to be dealing with studying the pitcher, analyzing pitcher tendencies, and putting together a good approach to get you the results that you want on the field. But before we start, make sure you check out the hitting analysis portion that's inside this website, where I'll work with you personally to fix your hitting, help your hitting, as well as my new evaluation assessment program, where I'll take your skills, tell you what you need to improve, help map out a specific plan, and also check out the mentoring program as well. So this week's topic is something that's super important when it comes to overall hitting in general, and it's something that's not necessarily overlooked these days. I think a lot of coaches do a good job of saying, hey, check out the pitcher, see what the pitcher's doing, but there's not a lot of feedback about kids actually learning what that really means and what they really need to do. So with this day and age of instruction, most instruction only gets to the point of mechanics, which is important. Mechanics are the foundational base with where to start to be a quality hitter. Then there's mentality stuff, then there's bat speed stuff, then there's plan stuff, then there's getting enough repetitions. There's all these things that are equally important to kind of maximize your ability to hit to your best ability. The one thing that gets overlooked often, and a lot of times this is probably the major, most important issue when it comes to hitters not performing they want to perform, is just basically studying the pitchers, studying pitcher tendencies, understand what they're trying to do, understanding what the pitcher has in his arsenal that's trying to get you out, because every pitcher's different. But most of the time the coach just says, hey, study the pitcher. And you know, young kids are like, okay, I'm studying the pitcher. He's tall, he has a mustache, he's right-handed, and they don't understand what studying the pitcher really means. The pitcher will give you specific tendencies as a hitter. Every pitcher has tendencies, whether it's they use their fastball a lot, maybe they flip over a first pitch curveball a lot, maybe their ball has a little bit of sink or two-seam sink to it. Whatever it is, every pitcher has something different. And the problem with today's society is everything's about the swing. Everything is, I get out and it's my swing's fault. But it's not necessarily about, hey, the pitcher just made a good pitch and I wasn't prepared to do it. Or maybe the pitcher made an adjustment to me and I didn't adjust back to him. So if we understand the importance of understanding pitcher tendencies and figuring out what they do, I guarantee you your hitting will go up where you want it to go. As far as pitcher tendencies are concerned, a lot of times we don't really work on that because you're too busy in the dugout messing around, not paying attention. It's basically just paying attention, understanding the game, watching baseball, watch major league games. Kids these days don't even watch baseball. It's unbelievable to me. Oh, I want to play in the big leagues. Well, why don't you watch baseball? If you don't watch what big leaguers do, how are you going to get to that level? So watching baseball is a big key, and not just watching baseball, enjoying the game, but kind of study the game too. Study it. See what the pitcher's doing. Watch a major league game and say, okay, this pitcher throws first pitch fastballs away almost every time. Or he throws 99 miles an hour and he throws 90% fastballs. His power pitch is a slider pitch to get you away. Watch it, because it gives you the ability to understand hitting on a more deep philosophy. So with this segment right here, I'm going to give you feedback about how to study the pitcher. Every pitcher will give you at least 8 to 10 pitches in the bullpen. They'll give you 8 pitches in between innings, and they'll give you every at bat per other player on your team. You're going to be getting a ton of pitches from the pitcher to understand what they're doing. And what you need to look for, you don't just study the pitcher, you look for their tendencies. Do they miss high? If they miss high, what should be your approach? Get the ball down in the zone. Look for a pitch down and don't fish for it up. They're trying to get you to get it up. What if they have heavy sink to it? What if the first 3 batters of the game hit a ground ball to short and second base? Then he probably has some sink to it, or the ball's moving downhill and you got to try to go get the bottom half of the ball and not ground out. What if he's pounding everything in and everybody's getting jammed up? Look middle in and turn on it. What if he's pounding away, everybody's getting the ball off the end of the bat? Look middle away. What if he flips his curveball over for a strike and it's strike one and everybody's taking it? Sit on first pitch curveball. So the understanding of what the pitcher's trying to do is important, and you have to understand that when you're sitting in the dugout or when you're just kind of hanging out with your friends, it's okay to talk and enjoy your time, but also understand the importance of studying the pitcher and what they're doing. Recognize these weaknesses, because it gives you an idea and a plan of what you need to do to get in there and compete. So whatever the plan is, you got to stick to it and go to it, but also understand what the weaknesses are. Too many days these days, hitter gets up there. I used to do it. I remember in college baseball, guys threw 80, 82 miles an hour. I would say, oh, this pitcher just sucks. I can't hit off slow pitching. It was so weak mentally. I remember it to this day. I'm 42 years old and I remember it to this day. Oh, he just sucks. I can't hit slow pitching. Well, that just makes you weak because you're not able to adjust to him. What if you had the mentality of, I'm going to adjust to whatever he's trying to do because that's going to make me a better hitter? And quite honestly, if I'm going to be brutally honest, if you can't adjust to what the pitcher's trying to do, no matter how good your swing is, you can't compete. and you'll never be very good, ever. If it's always an excuse, if it's always this pitcher does this, or this umpire did that, or it was a horrible call, or he threw me 5 curveballs, figure it out and make an adjustment. Because when you make an adjustment, you're gonna learn how to compete. Adjust. You don't have a 30-second timeout and you say, hey, umpire, 30-second timeout, 30-second timeout. Hey, pitcher, come here. Hey, bud, I know you're trying to get me out. I know you throw like 82 miles an hour and I just can't hit slow pitching. Hey, do you think you can throw it a little bit harder to get it in like the 88 mile an hour range? Because I like 88 miles an hour, and you're kind of throwing it kind of middle away. I'd love it if you kind of threw it middle in. You know, I know I got five more seconds left. And then if you can do it, just kind of throw it middle in and then kind of tell me what's coming. Tell me what's coming, because that's what I like. That doesn't happen. Let's be realistic. The pitcher's not trying to throw it where you like it. The pitcher's not trying to give you what you want. In fact, he's trying to give you what you don't want. So if you have this attitude of, I can't adjust to what the pitcher's trying to do, you can't compete and you're already beat. And it's so weak mentally. It's a weak mental mindset. If you can't compete mentally here and you can't make that adjustment, you'll never be very good. So with this segment, I want you to understand, it's not about just studying the pitcher. It's not about just looking at what they're doing. It's analyzing what their tendencies are. And whatever their tendencies are, counteract that and sit on it and get it done. If they're throwing middle away every time, look middle away and drive the ball in the opposite field gap. If they're pounding people in and getting jammed, turn on a ball, pull the ball hard. If they're really slow and everybody's out in front, make an adjustment. Maybe move up in the box, maybe load a little bit later. Whatever it is, study the pitcher and you make the adjustment to what you need to do to battle against him, because he's not going to adjust to you. He's the opposite of that. He's trying to get you out. So with the studying the pitcher thing, take the warm-ups in the bullpen, take the in-between pitches, study other people's at-bats. Every at-bat on your team. So you got 9 guys in the lineup. Every one of those at-bats will show you what the pitcher's trying to do to get people out. Now, the pitchers that kind of mix up their speeds and mix up their locations and throw different things a lot, it's kind of hard to do that, but there's still tendencies. You go through the lineup and everybody grounds out, try to hit the bottom of the ball. It's simple approach adjustments, and all you have to do is pay attention. You have to study the game. You have to be intelligent without, and I mean without, overanalyzing. And that's the next part of this, is we don't want to get to the point where you're overanalyzing. You're thinking, okay, he threw this guy first pitch curveball, he threw this guy first pitch fastball, wait, next guy, so I'm this guy, and now you're thinking too much. And now you're overanalyzing, and now you can't just get in there and compete too as well. So it's that fine line of understanding pitcher tendencies, but then not thinking too much to let your natural ability take over. Make the approach plain and simple. Make it as simple as you possibly can, and also understand your strengths, understand your weaknesses. If you know you don't like middle away, and this pitcher busts everybody outside, get closer to the plate. Get that pitch middle away closer to you. If you can't hit the inside pitch, if you just can't catch up, your hips are too slow, you don't react quick enough, and you know he's pounding in, back up a little bit. It's simple approach adjustments that allows you to adjust to that pitcher. So in closing, study the pitcher, but study the pitcher with an approach. Study the pitcher with a plan of attack to basically get to where he's trying to do to get you out, and not let him do that. He's not going to adjust to you. He's not going to throw it where you like it. He's trying to get you out. So great hitters make great adjustments. Great excuse makers make great pitcher onlys. Don't be a pitcher only. God bless.